Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, all praise to Yahawah, Bahashem, YAHAWASHI. Yahawah being the Father, who the world ignorantly calls God, and YAHAWASHI being the Son, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, right? We're going to start this lesson off, right? We're going to start this lesson off talking about YAHAWASHI and how the Christians falsely claim a Trinity and how he is the Most High God, right? But the scripture obviously shows this is false, right? And that he is only given power, right? So this is 1 Corinthians 15, and I'm starting verse 23. For every man in his own order, the Messiah the first fruits, after the day that are the Messiahs at his coming. Then cometh the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to Yahawah, even the Father, when he shall have put down all rule and all authority and power. For he must reign till he hath put all enemies under his feet. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death. For he hath put all things under his feet. But when he saith all things are put under him, it is manifest that he is accepted, which did put all things under him. And when all things shall be subdued unto him, then shall the Son also himself be subjected unto him that put all things under him, that Yahawah may be all in all. Right? So if the king gives you authority over all of his land, right? He is giving you authority over all of his land, but he's not giving you authority over him, right? He's in the background. He's working the background scenes, right? But you get position over all of his land, all of his counselors and stuff like that, But you don't have authority over the big man himself, right? And we could see a parallel or a foreshadow of this in the first book, Genesis, chapter 41 and verse 40, right? I'm going to start verse 38. And Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such a one as this is, a man in whom the spirit of Yahawah is? And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, for as much as Yahawah hath showed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art. Thou shalt be over my house, and according to thy word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than thou. Right? So that is basically, and I'm going to write it down, right? That is basically an example of, and we're going to get the definition, that is basically an example of a viceroy, right? The Pharaoh made Joseph viceroy over all of Egypt, right? Because he saw he was so worthy to be king over his territory, right? And similarly, Yahawah gave authority over the heavens and the earth to YAHAWASHI, right? Because he saw him fit, because he was his son, and he is the word and wisdom according to the scriptures, right? Now we're going to get that definition of viceroy, right?
Viceroy. Viceroy.
Viceroy, the governor of a country or province who rules as the representative of a king or sovereign, right? Right? And I would say, let's see. Salakia. Right? And he's a representative, right? Because the scripture describes him as an advocate, right?
Advocate.
Advocate, one who defends or maintains a cause or proposal, one who supports or promotes the interests of a cause or group. That's the same thing as a representative, right? And the scripture describes him as an advocate. It says we have an advocate with the Father. Right? This is 1 John chapter 2 and verse 1. My little children, these things write I unto you, that ye sin not. And if any man sin, we have an advocate with the Father, YAHAWASHI HaMashiach, the righteous. Right? So he's an advocate. He's a representative of the Father. Right? And that's why he has the power. Because the Father gave it to him. Right? So I'm going to end it with that. All praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. Shalom, shalom, shalom.